Welcome to another episode of Behind the Creator presented by Creative Mindset. It is a series of podcasts to empower young artists and creators. So आज हमारे गेस्ट हैं सूरज. He is an amazing painter and he has also worked with different companies like Wipro and other foreign companies. तो आज के पॉडकास्ट में हम लोगों ने बहुत सारी चीज़ों के बारे में बात किया है, जैसे कि उन्होंने कैसे अपनी इंजीनियरिंग के टाइम पे पेंटिंग के लिए वक्त निकाला, टाइम मैनेजमेंट, हाउ ही चूज टू लीव हिज इंजीनियरिंग जॉब एंड become a full-time painter and work in this creative field, and what are the sources of earning for a painter and what are the difficulty you will face as a painter, and many other things like what is the basic difference between hobby and passion, and if you want to be an artist you have to suffer something and take some pain. It's not a cup of tea for everyone. So let's start and listen to the podcast Behind the Creators. So we will start that
Okay.
what was the point in a life, or what at the moment that you decided you have to start painting it, or what was the spark that gave you to start this painting journey?
Okay. Okay. So first of all, thanks to all. Thanks for inviting me, and also I hope you are all having a safe time at home. So stay home, stay safe. Yeah. About me. So basically, myself Suraj, and my Instagram handle is Artaholic, and I've been doing this for very long years and very seriously in last 15 years. Basically, I'm a mechanical engineer, and I did graduate as a mechanical engineer, and I worked as a mechanical engineer for some 1.5 years. Then after that, I completely quit engineering field and I just switched into creative. And it's been some 6 years, and I'm working as a senior creative designer.
What thing give you the confidence that you can now leave your corporate engineering job and jump into this creative field? Or what was the signal that gave you to jump into this creative field, leaving your corporate engineering job?
Um, because my story is a bit different, bro. Like from school system, I was like kind of very good in studies. Okay, but after 12th, it was like a turning point, right? We don't know where to go because, like, especially when you paint and you will like you are very active in the culturals and these arts and all. So people will normally suggest you BFA, architecture and all. So the same thing happened like here also. A lot of people suggested me, and I got a seat for BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and also I cleared NATA, National Aptitude Test for Architecture. But that time I didn't join for anything. I thought I'll be a cricketer. So then basically I'm from a middle class family. Okay, so it's always like we have to find our own things, even for finance and everything. It's I can't
Yes.
much depend on my parents. Okay, so that point I thought of like I didn't join for anything. So that is actually a mistake. So but coming from a middle class family, so I don't want to take risk my life. So that's the thing. Then I like I heard engineering, like mechanical engineering is easy for, it's good for boys or easy to get jobs or something. Then I joined mechanical engineering. But that time also I was doing all these things. Then before joining, I talked to a lot of senior artists, and from them they said like it's always good to do what you love. But the thing is, like, it's India, it would be very difficult for finding the like uh, because for example, you can't predict whenever your time clicks if you are keep on doing the same
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, so
You cannot
maybe at
financially depend on
yeah,
financially depend on art, because in
yeah,
India the scene is not that much bigger.
yeah. The thing is, like, maybe you can find, maybe you will be a failure. Maybe after 40 or 50, you will be a big master. So we can't predict things, right? So
Yes.
it depends. So that side, I don't want to take a risk because I want to take care of my family also. So I thought of first getting a good marks and getting a degree is my very first priority. Then that's why I choose mechanical engineering. So after choosing engineering, actually things worked in a different way for me. Okay, because if I join for a BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts, or some other course, I'll be always painting, right? So that time I might get bored of this thing, maybe. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
I'm just telling.
Yeah.
So, but engineering, what happened is like there's a huge like fear in me, because like I don't want to lose all this, because this is what I want to do. So what happened is like I was like more into these things, arts and art. Whenever I get time, I will do that. Even in the exams and all, I will whenever I always push myself to find time and do this, because I don't care if it's a like semester exam or any important exam or something. I will study also, and I will plan some at least 1 hour or half an hour for my things. Even if even I'm in a classroom also, there's a newsprint paper,
Yes.
so if you
Yes.
pay some 5 rupee, they will give you half kg or 1 kg. So that time it was like that. 10 rupee, it will be 1 kg or half kg paper you will get. It's a very useless paper. It will be some gray color, and they are making it by like reusing
Recycled,
old note.
recycled paper.
So that's how I developed things. Then yeah, after that I worked in a mechanical field. Then I thought, like, that time also I used to do workshop in South India, especially in Bangalore and Chennai and all. So I got an opportunity in Wipro. Then I completely switched into creative.
So, are you now doing something for your professional bread, what we call bread and butter, and
Of course, of course, of course, of
practicing?
course.
So,
Yeah,
are you in any technical field or in creative field only?
creative field only, creative field only. But I'm a full-time employee. I'm working. I never quit my job. Because like I was with Wipro, so once I left, it was McQueen. It's a US based company where I worked as a mechanical engineer. Then I joined Wipro as a creative designer. I worked there for some, I think, 4 years. So I left. Then I joined Xiaomi, this Redmi, and now I'm into a new one, Lowe's. It's a US based
Okay.
company, Lowe's. Yeah,
So, what are
yeah.
the tips that you want to give new coming artists, yeah, aspiring artists, to how to manage their time, and how they can improve their work?
So most of the people are doing it as a hobby. So whenever they feel like they will get time or something, then they will do something. So
Yes.
it's not on daily basis. Most of them are not doing very passionately. So if that case, then only I can suggest things. So hobby and passion is entirely different. So if you are really like pushing yourself very hard to achieve something in this field, you are that passionate, then only I suggest. Because when you decide to get into the art field, means you are actually be ready to suffer, or else make a proper be on a safe side, or make a proper
There,
financial setup or
there is a
something.
from this
Yes,
I remember a famous quote that creativity takes courage. So you have
yeah,
to take the risk for that if you
yes,
want
yes,
to be in this
yes,
creative field.
yes, sure. That is absolutely uh, right thing. So be on it. So first of all, you must. I can't tell anything about yourself, right? So you think, you go through a lot of things, maybe read a lot of books, and just try to understand where you are in this, and what are things you can do, and just know your strength and abilities. Then if you think you can achieve something only with art, then go ahead. Don't listen to anyone, just but make sure that you are good enough, or you have the enough strength to survive in this field or something, then go ahead. Otherwise, always be like, in my case is different. Like I want to make money for my things. I want to take care of my family. A lot of things are there, responsibilities are there. So I want, and I can't leave it like that. Because like art is something very like equal responsibilities,
Yes.
and equally it is important for me. So I don't want to leave anything, even my responsibilities and this passion as well. So maybe sometimes I will adjust, will do some adjustments for my responsible side, but not for this art and all. So yeah.
So how I have seen many of your paintings. Your painting are very much watercolor based.
Okay.
So how do you conceptualize your painting before making, or where do you get idea? Do you use any reference picture, or it's from your imagination, or you're from memory or place you visited sometime? How do you
Okay.
conceptualize your painting?
Yeah. Okay. Actually, more than watercolor, acrylic is also there, and I also do digital. But I'm much into watercolor. Means like most of the people scared of watercolor because it's kind of very difficult to do and it will spread. And but I actually love that spontaneous behavior of the medium. Okay. So conceptualizing things means like. mm, Actually two types of medium. One is transparent and opaque, right? So
Hmm.
this acrylic and everything will come under this opaque medium, and transparent is like watercolor will comes under this thing. So basically in case of opaque mediums, for example acrylic, if you take paint and apply on the canvas, it will be there, right? But in case of watercolor, it is entirely different. If you apply it somewhere on the water or wet on wet or something, then it will completely spread all over the sheet if that is like water is there, right?
Yes.
So it will be very challenging. Another thing is like for example, if you take sap green, okay, and take
Yes.
the color tube on your hand,
Hmm.
the shade will be a particular thing. Then once you take out the colors, then it will be entirely different shade. Then again, if you apply that on palette, it will be different. In paper it will be different. Only we can see
Yes.
actually what happens is at the end it will get dry, then only you will see the like actual this thing, right? Actual what shade you are getting. It depends on a lot of things, maybe humidity and how much amount of water you added, and it's all uncertain, you can't predict anything. So the thing is like these 5 6 stages, whenever you see a photograph or whenever you imagine something, you must be, if you are a good watercolorist, you must be go through all these 5 stages. Okay, if I treat color this well, then once it get dry, what will I get? Okay, so that is the thing. And in case of watercolor, like most of the time you won't be able to get exactly what you are thinking, like what's in your mind. So it will give always more. So you will be always amazed with, okay, what I'm done, kind of thing. So that's a fun part. So these things are the basic thing for like creating stuff. So yeah.
I have seen some of your videos in which I think time lapse video or something. The way you wave the brush is like that. It is it is a part of your body. It's so fluent that, so that is that come from years of practice, or you do some daily basis things, or
Maybe practice, but if you're enjoying it that much, right? So it depends. Like if you are doing very because you don't feel any difficulty, like if you are doing things very, if for example, if you probably if you love gulab jamun or something, if you are craving for that and very long time you didn't get that, and finally you are able to get a good stuff, then you will close your eyes and eat, right? So you
yes.
won't feel any difficulty or something, you just melt on it. So it's like that.
Whenever you work in a company, even if in the creative field, so they are shortly give you a deadline for a project or a work. So my question is that, does that deadline affect creativity of an artist, or that it will distort the creativity that you're going to pour in your work?
Because like, see, deadlines will be always there when you work for a corporate. Everything will be there, and the timings all must be there. So the thing is like, see, I met a lot of artists, and they feel like to paint when they feel very comfort. They are
Yes.
sitting, they don't have any pressure. Then good music, then they have their own setup and everything. Because I'm kind of a person, I love to paint when I'm very like maybe frustrated, I'm angry, or like I don't care, but that time I want to paint more. Maybe I won't be doing an abstract of my feelings, but even in a landscape also you can see the stroke will be different. So whatever I paint, it doesn't means that I am painting something that is exactly some my emotions or something. It may be a landscape, but the thing is like the result will be different. Whatever I'm going through, that will reflect on the painting. So even maybe I can always figure it out even after some months when I see the painting. So this was the situation I was going through. Maybe the people who keenly looking on my paintings also, they're able to understand, okay, this is something different. So uh, so I don't I will take, even if in very pressured situation I worked at like till 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, then maybe after that till 2 o'clock or 2:30 I'll paint and sleep. Yes, it is there. Basically, if it's not a COVID time, I used to do a lot of workshops. Okay, so most of the workshops, the products I'm getting for a very nice offers from different brands.
Okay.
So that is also there, and I'm also doing a collaboration with Faber Castell. So that is on hold because of these things. So they will send me all the materials for me to use it for the first time before it get launched.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how they discovered you, or how you discovered the
Uh,
brands?
no, actually, it's all they approached me in Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell three things that you have done wrong, or from three things that new artist can learn from your mistakes?
Okay. uh, First of all, like don't go too below. Even if you are a beginner and if you are very confident about you are doing something very good, don't do it for free. That's the first thing.
Oh,
Never ever do it for free. If you are good enough, you, that is, you have to decide you are good or bad. But if you think a lot of people are come to you, obviously you will be good in something. So never ever do it for free. That's the first thing.
okay.
Okay. Another thing is like the pricing. Don't ask anything, like don't ask to others how, "Oh, this is my painting, how much I should tell, how to rate this painting or something." First you have to be your own very good judge, and that's the other thing. Then the third thing is like so it's mistake, right? So, okay. um,
So that's mean that you have done very free works for other.
yeah, so don't do that. That are all things I actually did in the initial stage. A lot of things are there. And also while doing paid work, be on a point and never go beyond or something, because like if it's a very big painting or something, don't hesitate to ask for advance payment. Okay, so I suggest is like it should be on a manner that, okay, I got this contract and I will be working on it, and you have to get the very at least some 10% of the money as advance. Okay, then once you start the painting, let them know I started, this is where I am, and like after some 50% of the work done, send them the pic, this is where I am,
Oh,
so I need the rest of the 30% or 40% money. So be on that thing, because like nobody is going to help you to market yourself or get you money or
oh,
something.
yes,
So
yes,
you are in a world like most of them are going to exploit you, or
yes,
they are
yes.
going to cheat you. So be on that and be like strong on your points, especially in financial these areas. Yeah, because I made a
So
lot of mistakes, I know.
so in the era of these things, there are a lot of brands that they will push you beyond the limit to work for free, or any that you do work we will pay you later. So we
Mhm.
should ask for advance, or
Yes,
it should be we who should decide the amount of our painting, not any other. We should not
of
ask
course, of course.
others.
Everybody is working for money, right? Everybody,
Yes, yes,
everyone, whatever your job, you need money. So whatever you did, you need something to take back, right? So especially artists are doing the same thing, but our society is still thinking he's doing some favor.
yes, yes.
Macha, can you paint me for free? We are friends, no? So I have heard this so
Yes,
many.
this
um,
is the best dialogue from
Yes,
everyone, that
yes, yes, yes,
and it's mostly from the friends that
yes. Yeah, for me, it's always from strangers. Even while traveling,
okay.
if I get something, then I don't know what's the this thing, because it's my job, right? I'm doing
Yes.
something, and if you want that, you have to pay, obviously. So even if you are my friend, then you have to pay me more, because you know how much I'm struggling.
Yes, yes, that's the point that
So
everybody should understand.
yes, yes,
So you told that you learned painting by yourself, that you are a self-taught artist.
yeah.
So what are the your sources of learning, and from where now that we can learn from YouTube, but what were the your sources of learning that
Because
you
basically,
opted?
basically, I'm from Kerala, bro. There is a culture of youth festivals here. Okay, from
Okay.
fifth standard it starts. So it is like
Okay.
in first, like after you join school, after 2 months there will be a competition inside school. So after that the best will select, and it will be state level competition will be there. And if you won state level, you will get some grace mark or something. So I was very active in that till from like fifth standard or 12th. I was like completely into that. So that make you more fast while working. It will increase the speed because they will give you only 1 hour to paint a complete landscape, and it will be theme will be kind of very difficult themes. So that made me that gave me some pace to work, that increased my pace. And also I'm from Kerala, right? Everywhere you go it will
Mhm.
inspire you to paint. So it's all
Yes,
green, so that's actually reflecting in my paintings most of the time, most of the places. Maybe my mom and my family, everything is inspire me to paint. So then that's the basic thing. Yeah, so these things inspire me. Then whenever we read a lot, nowadays I'm not reading much, but even if it's a storybook or something, when you read it, then also it will help you a lot. Because if some books there will be stories and there won't be any illustrations in some
yes,
books. So that kind of book we create our own illustration in my mind
yes.
through it will
So,
be just words, but yeah.
do you read any specific type of book, or is there any favorite of your collection of books that you want to
No,
recommend,
I
or
don't, I don't
you
have
read in
any.
general?
One, I think Varun Agarwal's one book is there, How I Braved Anxiety and Owned a $1 Million Company. It's really inspiration for people to start something of their own. Uh, yeah, right now that's what coming to my mind. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you take any classes for young artist or workshop in not in the COVID era, or in any post COVID or
Yes,
before
yes.
COVID?
I'll be fully active with the workshops. Kind like every month, at least one will be there in Bangalore. So it was going really good. I'm actually missing that.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
do you conduct any online workshop also for artists?
Yeah, after this pandemic thing started, I did some 4 or 5 batches. Now I'm a bit busy with my work. So I think I recently posted a live video regarding that. So maybe mid-September, I'm planning for a workshop, 1 day workshop online.
Okay. So, thank you for coming to our podcast and accepting our invitation.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks, bro. Thanks
Thank,
for inviting me.
thanks. All the social media handles of Suraj are linked below. Go check his Instagram and his YouTube channel. और अगर अभी तक हमारा पॉडकास्ट सुन ही लिया है तो सब्सक्राइब आवर यूट्यूब चैनल and follow us on Spotify and listen our podcast, and also do follow us on Instagram. Till next episode, stay home, stay safe. We will meet in another episode of Behind the Creator soon.